Well, I mean, either way, right? Whether it's 65%, right? Okay, look at it. Look at these graphs, right? Whether it's 65% or 35%, it's still the largest pie on the board. So just start there. Like, what are we doing?
Percentage point.
And we got another video right now. It's about how China fixed its air in 5 years and why India can't. Oh, I was not supposed to do that, Pixie. Dang, I can't raise my. I gotta turn off gestures, man. I like having it on, but it's such a gesture that I actually want to use so much that it's annoying to do so because it's like always gonna shift them around. But whatever. Yeah. How did China fix its air in 5 years? That's actually really impressive. But considering how much infrastructure and that, which is crazy, considering a lot of things are made over there. But why can't India? Why is that? I already know that Bangladesh air pollution is like super bad. Like people were like talking about how it's like smoking multiple packs a day just breathing there. Crazy, man. But let's get into it. Okay.
So in 2024, IQAir released their annual list of the world's most polluted cities. You know what's
Okay.
crazy? Out of the 100 most polluted cities globally, 94 are in India. 94.
What?
But let me zoom in on
Hold
one.
on. No, 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 no. 94% of the world's top 100 polluted cities are in India. That's a crazy metric. Whoa, that's a crazy statistic. How in the world? So what's going on? Why? What's going on? Why is India unable to do that?
City in particular, Delhi, our capital. Did you know that
What's going on?
15% of all deaths in the city are linked to air pollution? That's
15?
literally 1 in 7 deaths. Delhi's AQI
What?
hit an insane number last November. I'll tell you what it was in just a second. So, if you didn't already
What?
know, an AQI of 0 to
15%?
50 is good. 51 to 100 is also somewhat fine. Beyond that, till 200, people who are physically sensitive start to struggle. 200 to 300, everyone struggles. 300 to 400, serious health effects stack up through prolonged
Whoa.
exposure. And 400 to 500, that is
You
emergency
can't even
conditions.
see those cities, bro. That pollution is crazy. You can't even see the cities.
The scale was designed to stop at 500 because scientists thought surely no city would let
It
it
can't
get
get
worse than that,
worse.
right? Except IQAir reported Delhi's AQI to be 795, and
795?
at one point it even peaked at 1700 in some parts of Delhi.
17?
Weather apps literally show us
That's like
flooding emoji
nuclear
now, and
radiation.
no, I'm not joking. Right now, as you are watching this, there are kids in Delhi whose lungs literally look like they belong to 40-year-old chain smokers, and they've never touched a
Whoa.
cigarette. They're just breathing. Studies show that a child
Whoa.
born in Delhi today will lose 8 to 10 years of their life just from breathing this air. If we can't fix pollution in our
Whoa.
capital with all its resources, all its visibility, all its political power, do any of the other cities have any hope left? Is this an unsolvable crisis? No, not really. It's
That's
happened before to
crazy.
many cities. Just look at the case of Beijing 2013. Their pollution metrics went off the rails. Their
Yo. They're literally losing a decade of life just from breathing, bro. What? That's insane. I
AQI
had no
was
idea it
over
was that bad. Like,
750
I
or
knew it
so.
was
The
bad.
international media literally called it air apocalypse. People
Air
wore gas masks to
apocalypse.
buy grocery, hospitals overflowed,
Mm-hmm.
visibility dropped to 20 meters, you couldn't even see across the street. And in
Dang.
2024, Beijing recorded
Smart,
its
bro.
cleanest year ever, with the
89%?
number of heavy
How?
pollution days reduced to single digits. No, seriously,
How?
Beijing fixed it in less than a decade. Meanwhile, what's Delhi doing?
How did that
They're
happen?
sprinkling
Nothing?
water onto the pollution monitors in hopes that it don't make the list of most polluted cities this year. See, I'm not saying the
Whoa.
entire government is corrupt.
Whoa. That is crazy work. So they're not even trying to fix it? They're just like sprinkling water on that junk and hoping it doesn't pick up the air? That's crazy. How do y'all move like that? How are they moving like that? I don't understand. Who are these elected officials, bro? Who's the government? Like, what? Who is. They're just
or incompetent,
Sprinkling water
but
on that junk
something is deeply wrong when Beijing can reverse a crisis in 10 years while
in
we're
five
still
years.
here watering down the damn problem. Literally.
Yeah,
If
what?
Beijing could do it, we can too. But this is a complex issue, so first we need to understand the science and politics behind why Delhi's pollution is so catastrophic. And
Yeah,
then
literally.
I'm gonna show you exactly what China did so we can see their learnings and borrow from
Yeah,
them
honestly,
and see
that's
how we can
crazy.
fix this crisis. So let's dive in. So,
That's
Delhi
so
sits in
crazy,
what
man.
scientists call a geographic
Said we're gonna
mountain. Now, a
sprinkle
lot of you
water
might
on it.
already know this, but pay attention because we'll also show you how China faced the exact same issue and
That's the
how they
same
solved
thing.
it. So, to the north of Delhi, you have the Himalayas, 8,000
Okay.
meter peaks forming a massive wall. To the south and west, the Aravalli Hills. Now,
Okay.
every pollutant released in this region gets trapped. Think of it like a
Mm.
prison, and the prisoners are these microscopic particles called PM 2.5.
Mm.
These are basically particles smaller than 2.5 micrometers. To understand how small that is, human hair is about 70 micrometers wide. These
Mm.
particles are 30 times smaller. They're literally so small, they bypass your nose, throat, and even your lungs'
Mm.
natural defenses. They enter your bloodstream directly. Now, there's also
Mm.
PM10, that's slightly larger particles but still tiny enough to get deep into your lungs. Then you have
Mm.
nitrogen oxide, sulfur dioxide, ozone, carbon monoxide. It's essentially a toxic cocktail. So all of these
Mm.
particles that we just spoke of get trapped in this bowl, and in winters it gets even worse. So in winter something called temperature inversion happens. Now normally the sun heats the ground and the ground heats the air near it. Now that hot air rises up and carries pollutants up and away. But in winter, what happens is everything gets flipped. The
Oh,
ground
it
cools rapidly at
switches.
night, so the air at ground level becomes
Ah, it
colder than the air
drops.
right above it. And beyond that warmer
And it
layer
all
of air,
sits
be
at the
another
at the
cold layer of
bottom.
air. Basically, it's like a sandwich. Now, unfortunately for us, the warm air in between also acts like a lid. Nothing escapes through it. Now, what does that
Yeah.
mean? This basically means the pollutants that are trapped below it don't get carried up
They
and away.
just
Now, Delhi's
sitting
mixing
in
height
there.
is
Oh,
basically
that's
how high
crazy.
pollutants can rise. Drops from 1,000 meters in summer to just 100 meters in winter.
Whoa,
Same
so that's not
pollution,
going
but
anywhere. That's just
1/10
gonna
the
be
space.
smogging
Because
up
of
the
which the
city.
concentration of pollutants multiplies by 10x.
By 10.
Now adding to this is the seasonal
Yo.
winds. So between October and February, northwesterly winds sweep in from Punjab and Haryana. This pick up smoke from crop fires, dust from the Thar Desert, industrial emissions from Panipat and Sonipat, and deliver everything straight into Delhi's bowl.
That's
More
crazy.
prisoners flooding into an already overcrowded jail. And once they arrive, they multiply because Delhi has around 1.2 crore registered vehicles. That's more than Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata combined, by the way, pumping out
1.2 what?
tons of PM 2.5 every single day. And these vehicles aren't just polluting through their exhaust. Every time one drives down the road, it kicks up dust. So every vehicle resuspends around 10 to 15 grams of dust per kilometer. And to make things worse, you have construction. Studies indicate that over 6,850 metric tons of construction and demolition waste is generated every single day. Sites are supposed to be covered with green nets, sprayed with water, and materials need to be transported in covered vehicles, but the compliance rate for this
They
less
don't
than
care.
30%. Most sites
Less than
just
30?
don't bother. And finally, the one contributor that everybody loves to blame, stubble burning. Between mid-October and mid-November, farmers in Punjab and Haryana burn approximately 35 million tons of paddy straw. It's a direct unintended consequence of 1970s Green Revolution policies. Basically, state-level groundwater conservation laws banned farmers from planting their crops early, which meant that the window from their rice harvest to preparing for their next sow shrank fatally to just 10 to 20 days. So the only economic choice left for the farmers during this period is stubble burning. You know what's
Stubble
crazy?
burning?
Recent NASA satellite from 2021 to 2024 has recorded yearly fire counts ranging from 40,000 to 90,000. On peak burning days, this alone contributes up to 40% of Delhi's PM 2.5. The smoke drifts south, settles into the bowl, that is Delhi, and it's there to stay. All of this now adds up to an unlivable city that was once
I
a
miss
glorious
breathing is a
cultural
crazy
benchmark.
statement.
Now, let's look at another city.
Whoa.
Beijing also.
Hold on a second. Oh. Ooh. Okay. Let me actually keep that thing on me. Okay.
also,
Let's
like
get
I
it.
mentioned earlier, sits in an almost identical geographical trap. Yan Mountains
As
to the
Beijing,
north,
but how did they fix
Taiyang
it?
Mountains to the west, same bowl effect, same temperature inversion in the winter, same mixing height drops from 1500 meters to under
To
200
200.
meters in winter. A topographic study found that Beijing's terrain amplifies local emissions by 50 to 150% during winters. Their
Dang.
geography is actually worse than Delhi's. They also have
Dang.
seasonal agricultural burning. Farmers in Hebei and Shandong provinces burn crop residue every autumn. On top of all of this, Beijing also gets sandstorms from the Gobi Desert that can reduce visibility to 50 meters. Okay, so if you look at all the
50?
issues that Delhi faced, Beijing also faced the exact same problem. Geographical
Dang.
goal, check. Temperature inversion, check. Agricultural burning, check. Seasonal wind patterns, check. Beijing literally had all of it. And in 2013, their PM 2.5 peaked at 755 micrograms per cubic meter at a point.
755.
Their annual average was about 9 times the limit set by WHO. But today, their
Dang.
annual average has plummeted down to about 29. The
That's
sky is
good.
blue, people jog in parks without masks, cafes have outdoor seatings, children play outside, and the babies born in their hospitals take a deep breath and sigh in relief. So, what did Beijing
Uh-huh.
actually do to solve the problem? They created a 5-year action plan with specific measurable targets.
Remove 1
Then they
million old
executed step
vehicles.
1 that shut down the
But
biggest
they how'd they
polluter,
do that?
measurable target.
Did they like old vehicles from the roads? Were they just sitting there? Or did they like replace people's vehicles? Is that what happened? They're like, hey, yo, we'll upgrade you to this new vehicle if you scrap this old one. I would have to imagine it was something similar to that, right? Because you can't just like take somebody's car, right? Well, I mean, I guess they could technically, but yeah, they kind of get down crazy over there. So actually, I'm not sure which one it is. Cut steel production capacity by 80 million tons. Cap coal consumption levels at 2012 levels. I guess this is like one of those things where it's like this is one of those situations in which like okay, because China is like run the way it is, they can do things like a lot more efficiently on a mass scale. Um, because literally all they have to do is up the stick if people don't comply, which is like, it's efficient. It's not good, but like that is probably a contributing reason as to why they were able to do that junk in 5 years. They was like, oh, you don't want to cut it? Up the stick on them, and then like, hey, it's a regime. So, you know, I guess that's one of the trade-offs.
Targets. Then they executed step 1 that shut down the biggest polluters. They closed
But
2,000 factories in
I'm not saying
Beijing
it's
per
impossible to get it done like efficiently, like through other methods, like more more what's the word? Or I guess you could say less utilitarian methods. You can do it, but I guess upping the stick is always efficient. Sadly,
Currently. Shoyang,
and
one of
fear
China's
is a strong
largest steel
motivator.
companies, was relocated from Beijing to Hebei province. The cost $15 billion. The number of jobs that were lost 80,000. They just did it because it was necessary. Step 2, they launched a massive subsidized program to replace millions of
Replace
household
coal.
coal stuffs with
Yo, they
electric or
had
gas
coal
heaters,
heaters.
with the government covering the vast majority of the cost. Step 3, build and improve public infrastructure. Beijing underwent one of the most rapid transit expansions in history, exploding its subway
Oh
network from
wow.
just 2 lines in 2000, which is 54 kilometers of track, to nearly 1,000 kilometers of track today. China now also dominates the global electric bus market, deploying hundreds of thousands of them across its city, making clean public transport the easy choice. They basically made polluting more
So we're gonna
expensive
up the
and
stick.
clean alternatives cheaper
Up the
and
stick,
easier.
clean the
They also
country.
planted
Crazy.
54 million trees around the city and created many new jobs trying to maintain these trees every 5 years. Step 4 was
Tackle agricultural burning. How'd they deal with
they didn't
this?
just ban it, they made it economically stupid to burn. Farmers could sell crop residue to biomass power plants at guaranteed profitable rates, or they could use subsidized machine where the government covered 80% of costs to incorporate stubble into soil. Burning basically was no longer economically strategic, and within just 3 years, agricultural fires dropped by 70% last decade.
Wow, that was actually a smart play. I'm not gonna lie. That was actually a smart play. You know, that was actually a good move. I'm not gonna lie, because like if you want to make changes like that, starting with like economic incentive to actually change the practice is much better than just saying, "Oh, it's banned," right? Because at least like you're giving people like more of a reason to actually do it, as opposed to just saying, "Oh, no, 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 you can't do that," right? Because then you're gonna have people, oh, fuck the government, all right, this and that. But if you make it so that, hey, if you turn this stuff in, we'll actually either pay you for it or we'll like pay for it. Hey, that's an easy decision to make at that point. Now, if you don't choose that after that, you're just a head ass. You're just a head ass. Or you have some like super obscure circumstance that like doesn't make it easy for that to do for you for some reason. But I don't know.
Wildlife was monitored and enforce all of these steps ruthlessly. Satellites were
Yep.
monitored for
There it
fires
is. Up the stick.
24/7. Every fire, local officials had 2 months to
Hey,
extinguish
y'all
it
burning
or
us?
face penalties. It literally took them less than 10 years to do all of this. So,
Yeah.
the question here is, why can't we do the same thing? I interrupt this
Do
segment to
people
share some
care?
important news with all of you. So, 2.5 years ago, we started a video editing school around the thesis that video
Oh,
editing and
cool.
content creation are going to become long term viable careers because as products become easier to build, distribution will become the mode, and people who know how to build distribution will have a lot of leverage. As of now, we have trained 3,500 students, and turns out somewhere our
Cool.
thesis was right. Don't take my word for it, check this out.
Like I'm quite sure
Nice.
you also talk to your friends and family. And
Sure.
definitely you talk about your career.
Yeah.
So what was that? What is that conversation like now?
Okay, I don't need to. I don't need to watch this part.
Is a
That's cool
why
that they're
everyone
doing that, though. I
AI
love
into
that.
doesn't this.
That's a
If you're
W.
studying a free masterclass, absolutely free and help basics.
That's
In
W stuff right there. I appreciate your work in that.
Anyway, putting
Build
the
another
link in
community
description.
like that,
See
you know.
you there.
That's
Let's
good
start
stuff.
with the basics. In India, we can't even
Hmm?
agree on where our pollution is coming from. The Ministry of Earth Sciences says vehicles contribute 41% of Delhi's
Vehicles.
PM 2.5.
I can see
Separately,
that. Cause like yo, low key, in the, like a lot of the movies that I'm seeing around there, like that are like filmed in there and like the videos and stuff, you see like these huge like smog clouds just coming out of the back of like every single truck, and I'm just like, yo, when was that junk made? Like 1950? Like, come on now, that junk can't be like good for the environment.
is 39.2%.
That's one thing. You know what would be cool? You know what? You know what would be cool if there was like, I wonder if there's like a and how expensive it would be. Like there probably is, but like how expensive it would be, a conversion like technique they could do on vehicles to like convert them into like EVs or like hybrid vehicles. I know it's gonna take a lot of like actual tampering, probably more than the actual creation of the vehicle itself, but um if it weren't that way, that could be a pretty cool thing. They could just like convert all those like old cars into EVs. That would be cool if it were like feasible to do. But I would imagine the actual resources that would go into converting it would probably not um, make sense from like a resource standpoint to be able to do it, as opposed to just like scrapping the old ones and just replacing them. I don't know.
IT Kanpur says 25%, and they claim
I don't
that
know.
road
I
dust
don't
is
know.
the
We'll
biggest
see.
culprit at 30%. Terry
I'm
says
open
no,
to be
road
proven
dust
wrong
is at
about that.
35.6%, and another study claims it's at 65.9%.
Windblown dust? Hold on.
And they claim that road dust is the biggest culprit at 30%.
Road dust?
Terry says no, road dust is at 35.6%, and another study claims it's at 65.
What do you mean y'all can't agree on it?
That's a 30.
Are y'all not using the same like tools? What kind of tools do you have to measure it? How do you not agree on it? Well, I mean, either way, right? Whether it's 65%, right? Okay, look at it. Look at these graphs, right? Whether it's 65% or 35%, it's still the largest pie on the board. So just start there. Like, what are we doing?
percentage point difference. These aren't just rounding errors. These
It's
are
still the largest
completely
piece of the
different
pie, so just crack
conclusions.
down.
And it happens because every study uses different methods, sampling periods, and even different emission factors in their models. And this confusion is fully weaponized as well. Every industry points to studies showing someone else is the problem. The automobile industry blames dust, construction blames vehicles, the government blames
Bruh.
stubble burning, Punjab blames Delhi's local sources. Everyone has a
That's so
study
crazy.
that proves that they are innocent. Meanwhile, the Supreme Court
Bruh.
orders action. Grab stages 1, 2, 3, 4 get activated like levels in a video game. They ban construction.
Oh,
Implement stages
crazy.
1, 2, 3, 4 get activated like levels in a video game. They ban construction, implement odd even, close schools, sprinkle water on roads. So when winter ends and the AQI drops to 200, we declare victory. Come next October, same script, the cycle repeats. Sure, yeah, there are attempts to come up with solutions. But those
Sprinkle water
solutions
on the
seem to
roads.
spring about their
Oh,
own
is that to
subsets of
like stop the
problems. Just take a
dust
look
from
again at
rising
stubble
up?
burning. The government solution was something called Happy Seeders, machine that can sow wheat to stubble. Sounds great, no? Except the supply of these subsidized Happy Seeders reportedly falls catastrophically short. For each of them provided, a lot more remained without it, making burning stubble their only option, so the issue still persists. But why is that? Is it really that unaffordable an issue? Where is all taxpayers' money going then? Is there no authority investing any
Yeah,
time
for
into
real.
figuring out any solutions? Do they even
Probably
think about how
not.
to protect the lungs of children who are unfortunate enough to be born into the city? Well, look at this. In 2019, India launched the National Clean Air Program. 19,711 crores allocated. As of 2024, only 57% or so was utilized. That's around 8,000 crores just sitting in government accounts. And the money
What does that mean?
was spent, nearly 64%.
How much is 8,000 crores? What is a crore? 8,000 crores to USD? What? I did not say peso, bro. Does crores exist? INR? What is a crore? What? Hold on. What is a crore? 10 million. Oh, okay. So that's 10 million rupees. Is that it? Okay, yeah. So it's like 10 million rupees. Okay, gotcha.
Went to dust control measures.
Okay, so it's a
water
lot.
on roads. A temporary fix that lasts 2 to 3 years.
So it's
later.
8,000,
About
10 millions.
15% for biomass burning, 13% for vehicular pollution, and industrial pollution, 0.61%. These are
Oh, for
national
real?
averages, but it paints a portrait that's not very efficient. Just look back at Beijing, okay? You know what they did first? They admitted that the problem was real. That is step 0. In January 2013,
Yeah, low-key.
after PM 2.5 hit 755, Premier Lee.
Yeah, this is one of those examples where like where the Chinese government is actually kind of hooping because they're like, hey, this pollution actually is a real problem. So let's like use the resources and like the efficiency of the actual government structure to fix it. So that's like, a positive side of it. All the negatives that go along with it, I'm not sure if they justify it, but it's at least useful for a second.
And I'm quoting, "We will resolutely declare war against pollution as we declared war against poverty."
War
Not
against
a
poverty,
campaign,
bro.
not an initiative, war. They changed the entire incentive structure. Local officials' promotions became tied to air quality improvements. Miss your target, no promotion. Consistently fail, you're fired. The Central Environmental Protection Inspection held 18,199 officials accountable in its first round alone. Have we even taken step
Dang.
0 yet? No.
Yeah, they upped the stick
Every
like
year,
crazy.
we act surprised.
They're like, hey, all
Every
levels
year,
right?
We blame geography. Every year, we point fingers. We're stuck in a blame game while
Crazy.
children's lungs collapse. And here's
I don't
what
like
really
it.
gets me, Now, I know the wealth gap issue is complex and it's widening, but in so many cities in India, the goddamn health gap is widening too. The rich have a way to shield themselves from pollution. Air purifiers in every room that cost 50,000 to 2 lakh each, cars with cabin
Air
filters,
purifiers in every room,
offices with
bro.
central air purification, kids' schools with AQI monitoring, and God knows what else. They've literally purchased clean air because they can. The air purifier market in Delhi has exploded, becoming a
That's
million
crazy.
dollar industry. We have literally
Yo,
commodified breathing. But the rickshawalas, they're
yo,
rich.
they said, hey, you want clean air, bro? You better pay the price. That's crazy. I wonder how much they are though, for real. Let's in USD. Hold on, let me look. Let's see, top Indian air purifiers, because I know the air purifiers are different. They're gonna be filtering, like if I were to use like one of the air purifiers here, that junk would slap. That junk would probably might even filter out the oxygen, bro. What? Koei? Oh, they're still the same like company. They're just no. Koei is something different though, right? I don't think I've heard of Koei. Go away. Is there a shopping page? True HEPA. Let's see. Best ear purifiers for home in India. Key terms: category air, CHA, AQI, air quality, and excuse me. Where's the actual ones? Ah, right here. Okay. Check on Amazon. Love weight. Bro, I'm not trying to sign in to do all this. Okay, okay. Is it on Amazon India? Hold on. What about that? Oh, no, no. Are they going to convert it? Let's just look how much. What's this? To USD. It's probably going to convert it, right? Can we paste? What's going on here? I didn't ask. I didn't ask. What's going on? Okay. Oh, wait. Let's see. Oh. 5,999. It's like $60. That's not bad. That's like the best one, bro. Hey, that's not bad. Hold on. There's no way. Well, I mean, I guess it makes sense that it's like, because like for them, they don't have to increase the price to make it quality, because like so many people need it, right? So at this point, it's kind of like an essential item in a way. So like making it expensive just wouldn't be good anyways. Like it doesn't even make sense to do that, and it's also just not a good practice. So like making it like affordable is like the most important thing if it's gonna be like the air quality so bad anyways, right? So that makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. That's cool. Interesting. Well, it's not cool that they have to use that. That everyone has to use that. But government got to get it together. What the heck?
Through traffic, the construction worker building the metro, the security guard standing outside for 12 hours, the poor babies in their mother's arms, they are breathing everything. No filter, no escape, no choice. We are literally stealing over a decade of life from the regular people, and we have normalized
Just
it.
raw dogging
Look,
it, bro.
I'm not an appointed committee trying to solve these problems. I'm a communicator of urgency at best. But am I missing something? Is this really an unsolvable crisis? Is there
No.
more to it that we don't
Hey,
understand?
y'all already
Is
got
there
the
more that you
y'all
know?
already got the
We
formula.
should.
As far as I'm concerned, the government already has like not even just the government, but like the industries associated with it too. Like road dust was the biggest piece of the pie on the charts. So just start there. Like regardless of whatever else, like okay, the car industry, sure, we can talk later. Just start with the road dust.
Your thoughts in the comments. Maybe there are angles, policies,
I guess
on
maybe
ground realities that we
that could
haven't
be one
covered
of the
here.
most
Maybe
difficult
there's a
things to
lot I
do
don't
though.
know. But here's what I do know: Beijing was able to solve it. And it wasn't because China is authoritarian.
That's crazy.
Am I missing something? Is this really an unsolvable crisis? Is there
Yo, those
more to it
picture
we don't
differences are
understand? Is there
crazy.
more that you know? Please share your thoughts in the comments. Maybe there are angles, policies, on ground realities that we haven't covered here. Maybe there's a lot I don't know. But here's what I do know. Beijing was
Yo, the picture difference is crazy, bro. Is that AI? Okay. Now the building kind of looks AI. Hold on. The top of the building right here. What if it's cap? What if they haven't actually done any of that? And they just said they did. And then they just like put up like AI photos in comparison. And they're like, hey, look, we fixed it. It's because of our communism and authoritarian regime. That's like PR. That's
able to
crazy
solve it.
work. Crazy work. You can't even see the rest of the city over there, bro.
It wasn't because China is authoritarian. It's not because they can just order things and make it happen. In fact, in 2015, researchers ran an
Yeah,
experiment
it's
in
not.
China. They
It's not actually just because of that. I think the speed at which it happened was probably had something to do with it, but the fact that they're doing it at all is not. The fact that they're doing it at all is just a matter of like, hey, there's a problem that needs to be fixed, and they gotta do it, and they did that. But I think the speed at which it happened is partially due to just upping the stick if people don't comply, which is unfortunately an effective method.
publicly rated municipal governments on their environmental transparency. That forced transparency led to people within the city publicly shaming the municipalities. They then knew which high polluting firms to direct their anger towards. And this outrage, by the way, it led to those companies cutting their violations by 37%. Ambient air
On
pollution
shame
decreased
alone.
by 8 to 10%. And this wasn't government led,
On
it was
shame alone.
public accountability, a tool that any democracy could use if they
Yo, on
only had the
shame
will.
alone, bro.
See, boycotting,
They reduced by
shaming,
30% on
embargoes
shame
have
alone.
always been the most powerful weapons, and they're wielded by regular people, the masses.
Low
In
key.
Plachimada, Kerala, local villagers campaigned against
Do
Coca Cola
people
for
care
depleting and polluting their
enough?
groundwater. After years of protests and legal battles, the plant was shut down in 2004. They won. In New York, toxic emissions from residential heating oil were killing people. Public health
Damn.
advocates used data to shame polluting landlords and push for citywide reform. In
Nice.
2010, the clean heating law passed. Within a
A
decade, emissions dropped by 65%.
65. That's
The Tarim
powerful.
River in Indonesia was once labeled the most polluted river in the world. Local communities, united through grassroots organizing and public shaming of polluting factories, they pushed for stricter enforcement. Today, the river is recovering. Those Indonesian
Nice.
communities were fed up with the label of dirtiest river in the world, so they did what they had to change it. We have a label too, and it needs to change.
Most
A
polluted
child born
city
in
in the
Delhi
world.
today
I thought it
will
was Bangladesh. I didn't know it was Delhi. Wait, hold on. When was this video put out? 4 days ago. No, so they passed them. They must have passed them recently then. Let's see, New Delhi, or maybe Bangladesh is cleaning up, or Bangladesh, which is more polluted. (2024), New Delhi, second most. Dhaka. Oh, Dhaka is third. Okay, so Dhaka is third. Dang, so New Delhi is worse actually. Wow, that's crazy. Dang.
lose 10 years of their life just from breathing. Beijing has proved
Yeah, it's
that
crazy,
you can
man.
reverse this. In 5 years, they cut pollution by 35%. Just 5 years to add back years to people's lives. The solutions exist, the money exists, the technology exists. Beijing had the same geography, the same excuses, the same political complexity. They chose their children's lung over political convenience. What will we choose?
Yeah, what will we, man? So you and I are watching this video. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, a university student from China. County head being taken into custody by the police. Woo. This was because he had accepted bribes from a factory and allowed it to discharge pollution into the river, which led to raised crop yields and contaminated land. Ooh. Following a police investigation, the factory was shut down. Country head sentenced to 12 years in prison. The county head. Assets were seized to be used for the cleanup of downstream pollution. Hold on, nah, no way. This gotta be propaganda. Was that real for real? Yo, people glazing China in the comments. Yo, if that's actually real, then that's a W. But yeah, that's actually real. That's a W. But yeah, that's crazy, bro. Accepting the bribes, they got his ass for accepting those bribes, bro. They said, "Get over here." Yeah. What are you doing? That's crazy. Said up and stick like crazy, boy. But yeah, that's gonna be the video. I hope y'all liked it. Let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. Air pollution and all that. That's why I do my best to, like, keep things as clean as possible when we can. Recycle things that need to be recycled. Don't be littering and all that. It's simple things. It's simple things for real, and it adds up. More people do it, but that's gonna be my little take on this. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me check on this channel real quick, see if we're gonna watch some more stuff from them, maybe, because that was a pretty interesting one. Are we gonna watch some more stuff? Is there what else? No one wants. Okay, we've seen this, or no, we haven't seen this specifically, but oh, the dark web. Okay, AI psychosis. Okay. So they're pretty okay, so they're pretty, like, they got some pretty cool content, but they got a lot of India-based content too. So complex. That's a pretty cool channel. Oh, is she a makes sense. Yeah, okay, you know what? We're gonna drop a sub. How about that? But with that being said, that's gonna be the video for real this time. Go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one, okay? Bye.